This is John Paul Wright. I'm coming from Tokyo, Japan. Have you heard of IndieWire? Well, you probably have. They're a pretty big .com that covers all kind of movies, rates movies, things like that, and they're geniuses. Because these geniuses put The Last Jedi on their top 100 list of the decade. Not the year, the decade. So according to them, The Last Jedi, I believe it's 94, it's pretty high up there, but for a decade worth of movies, 94 is ranked pretty damn high. Think of all the movies The Last Jedi beat out for the last decade. It's mind-blowing. I should take a third look at the movie. Maybe I'll like it a little more. I'll see something that IndieWire didn't see. Let's see what they have to say. The hero generally gains little or no reward for his sacrifice. It is the community that gains, wrote Howard Sober in The Power of Film. To choose heroism is to choose pain, sacrifice, loss, and sometimes even death. Because Rey chose all that stuff in The Last Jedi. Pain, sacrifice, loss, even death. Rey got it so bad. She got to her main enemy, Snoke. Snoke got killed by Kylo Ren for Rey. That was tough. She got to the island. She had to train herself. That was tough. She had to hang out with some porgs. She had to lift some boulders. She had such a rough, painful sacrifice time in The Last Jedi. Alright. Wow, this is opening my eyes. Thank you, IndieWire. In The Last Jedi, the Star Wars saga grappled with the tragic underpinnings of the hero's journey as it never has before, because they completely left out the hero's journey. That's what they did. They left out the hero's journey. That's how you deal with the hero's journey that's never been dealt before in a movie with a hero, is you leave it out. I told you they were genius. 40 years after the original, the new saga grew up, and some of its fans couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle it. The Last Jedi grew up. Holdo, and Finn riding dogs, and Finn's character getting sidelined, Rose Tico zapping Finn with a little gun. I couldn't handle all that. And Luke Skywalker being out of character with a cheap-ass scene of him fighting Kylo Ren in a tent. I couldn't handle that, guys. Oh man, I couldn't. What's wrong with me? In this most mythic of Star Wars films, rendered the boldest of cinematic strokes by Rian Johnson, there was no happily ever after for Luke Skywalker, but he does live up to the purest ideal of a Jedi. So he does live up to the purest ideal of a Jedi, and someone went over this a while ago. Jedis actually do fight, because what I'm thinking is they're suggesting that Jedis are pacifist, they only use the Force for defense. That's something Yoda said one time, but what did Yoda do when push came to shove? Well, he went to kill the Emperor. Well, he had all the Jedis fight. They fight when the time comes. It's a state of mind to defend. It's a theoretical thing to defend, okay? You can attack when the time comes. It's just not exactly a pure rule of the Jedi because Yoda said it. There's some truth to it. It is technically defense like a samurai, but sometimes a good defense is a good offense, and that's fact. Alright. Like he does in his final battle with Darth Vader, he throws his lightsaber away. And there's a difference between throwing away your lightsaber when you're not being threatened and someone hands it to you to get trained than when you're proving a point in front of your father saying, I don't want to kill my own father. That is the most idiotic, stupid shit you could write. This is trash. It's such trash. Why do people keep thinking this? Oh wait, IndieWire wants to be noticed by Disney or Lucasfilms. Gotcha. Realizing that a sacrifice of himself will distract his enemies and allow his beloved community to survive. Yeah, what a big epic move for Luke Skywalker. Hey, I'll distract the enemy so you guys could survive. Awesome. Great writing. Love it. Love it. John Williams mixed Lemioffs, I can't read that word, guys, Litmofts from all 7 of the previous films with some other word I can't read, probably orchestral term or something. Try not to rock out when Rey's theme propulsively devolves into the attack of the fighters from A New Hope in a final battle. Alright, I'm going to stop here because now they're getting technical about the music, and it's just such delusion in the industry to think The Last Jedi could be the 94th best film of the decade. The decade. It's just the little things they say here are so easy to decompose and dissect and prove wrong. Yeah, I guess this is going to bother me forever. I can't really, I can't totally get it out of my mind because Star Wars is embedded in my mind since I was 5 years old. The best I could do is just not consider it Star Wars. I can't consider it fan fiction because fans write fan fiction. So people are like, well, The Last Jedi is just fan fiction. if they were fans who wrote it. Fan fiction is generally something that stays true to the franchise, the original characters, and if it doesn't, it usually states that it's a what if, or it's for fun, or something like that. If a fan fiction writer or movie maker tries to make a real fan fiction, they want to get a lot of views, like Star Wars Theory, for example, or I forget the name of the channel, Fixin' It or something, that did the Scene 38 from Star Wars A New Hope. It's serious. They try to make it fit in the canon. If it's like fun fan fiction, they usually say something like that. The point is, usually you have to be a fan to write fan fiction, and Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy, as far as we could tell, ain't fans, so it's not even fan fiction. Never call The Last Jedi fan fiction again, unless you think that the people who wrote it are fans, and I don't. That was a little bit of a rant. So, my respect for IndieWire just went totally out the window. The Last Jedi should not be on this list. I haven't looked at The Force Awakens, and I will say this, I did not like The Force Awakens at all. I could make a 1-hour video on it, but I respect it in a different way than I respect, well, I don't respect The Last Jedi, but I look at it in a different way that I look at The Last Jedi, and it leaves a lot of incredible questions open going into the next one. So The Force Awakens, although I think it has serious flaws, serves a purpose on the greater scheme of the story. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this down below. I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. I will see you next time.